This is the Anna Gale Lines podcast, where we equip you with the tools and insights to take charge of your life and thrive. And here is your host, life coach and author, Anna Gale Lines.
Welcome to the Anna Gale Lines podcast. I'm your host, Anna Gale Lines. If you've listened to the podcast for any amount of time, you've heard me speak about my mother and how growing up, she was very controlling and manipulative, and she would speak for me. So much that I did not have a voice. And it got to the point where I would just let her speak for me. And if anybody wanted to speak to me directly, I would have anxiety and panic attacks. And I suffered with depression growing up. And I took care of her when she was mentally ill. And she was still controlling and manipulative up into my adult years. And it became so debilitating, my anxiety, that I couldn't speak for myself. I couldn't talk for myself. I was depressed all the time. I was paralyzed in my life. I couldn't move forward. And I was in this prison, not only because of how controlling and manipulative my mother was, but because it was in my own mind. I believed I wasn't any better than this. This was my lot in life, and I couldn't move past this. So my first relationship, because I was getting good attention in that relationship, I was very clingy. I was very young, and I was very clingy. And I don't know how he stayed with me for 5.5 years, because I was so clingy that I didn't want him leaving. And I became controlling and manipulative, because the abused become abusers in some cases. And then she died. And my anxiety and my panic attacks lessened. I mean, I still get some panic attacks and I still get some anxiety, but not as much as I used to. And I then got into a relationship where he was toxic. He was a narcissist, and I didn't see it. And he was controlling and manipulative, and I didn't see it. And then I broke up with him. And suddenly I could see it. Yet I still went round 2 with this guy. And I thought, okay, this is my lot in life. I deserve this. I'm not going to get any better than this. Because he convinced me that he was the best thing since peanut butter. And then I had a toxic boss who also was narcissistic and seemed like she was out to get me, although she was out to get all of us managers, anybody she didn't like. She wanted us fired. And she was very controlling, and she played mind games, just like my mother, just like that one toxic boyfriend. And I thought that I deserved all this and that there was something fundamentally wrong with me. But there wasn't. There was a mindset problem, a believing problem. I believed that that's all I deserved, but that's not all I deserved. I had to learn through experience and gain more wisdom. And today we're tackling a topic that resonates with so many of us, turning our past pain into something positive. We all have experiences that have challenged us and left us feeling hurt or overwhelmed. But today we're going to share some practical tips on how to transform that pain into a source of strength and growth. Whether you're dealing with a recent setback or dealing with long-standing issues, these actionable steps will help you find purpose and positivity in your journey. So get ready to take notes and start your path towards a brighter future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more empowering content. So what are some ways that we can turn our past pain into something positive? One is by seeking therapy if you feel that you need it. A lot of times we think that going to a therapist is weak. We feel like going to somebody else means that we can't handle things on our own. But a lot of times it is the most rewarding thing you can do, the most productive thing you can do, because you've got somebody who is listening to your stories and giving you advice and helping you to be a better person, whether that is a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a therapist or a life coach. It is somebody that has a different perspective. It can see things from the outside looking in, and they can help you see what you don't because you're too close to the problem. Then we can also journal. We can write about our experiences to gain clarity and release emotions. And once you've been journaling for a while, you can see, and you read back on it, you can see those patterns of things that are going on in your life. And you can understand more clearly why things are happening the way they're happening, why you're attracted to the same person in a different package every time, why it is that you allow yourself to be a doormat. You can see the past trauma coming through, and you can work through it. And then we can volunteer to help others, to provide a sense of purpose and fulfillment. We can take our past pain and help others. So let's say that you were homeless. So you can volunteer to help the homeless. You can volunteer to collect clothes and toiletries for the homeless. You can go and speak with them and learn their stories and help them find shelter. You can go to the soup kitchen and you can help prepare food and distribute food to the homeless. You can advocate for the homeless and help perpetuate new laws, or you can come up with solutions to help the homeless that people haven't thought of. But we can volunteer to help in the area of our past pain. And we can even become life coaches and therapists to help other people who have gone through that trauma and pain as well. Then we can exercise. Physical exercise can boost our mood and help reduce stress. And it can help us get into nature and help us to quiet ourselves so that we could hear our intuition on what we are to do with our lives. It could help us be more creative. It could help us lose weight if we need to. It could help us become more healthy. But we need to get into motion. We need to get off the couch, get off the bed, and we need to actually put one foot in front of the other and do something that helps our body move. And you can find things you like to do that are physical, like hiking or kickboxing or cycling or running. But we need to be able to put joy into our exercise, because if we don't find something that we like to do that's physical, we will never get going. We will never get our bodies in motion. We will see exercise as a thing we need to check off of our to-do list. And if we haven't done it that day, then we feel bad about it. Then we need to practice mindfulness, staying in the moment, staying in the present moment, not thinking about the past and regurgitating the past and thinking about everything that we could have done in the past, or thinking about the future, how we're going to make the rent, how we're going to pay our bills, what we're going to do with our lives, how we're going to make a difference. We need to stay in the present moment, because the choices we make in this moment are the choices that are going to affect our future. But a lot of times we don't pay attention to the small choices that we have in this moment. We don't think about how they're going to affect us in the future. All we're thinking about is the future or the past. And we don't think about what it is that's happening now. We're bored now. We're just wanting these moments to pass so that we can get to something more exciting and more positive. But we've got to focus on what's going on right now. And then we can create art. We can express our feelings through painting and drawing and other creative avenues. We could write a song about our pain. We could write a novel about our pain. We could write a book to help other people that are in similar situations. We can use our feelings and our emotions to create great art. We can make sculptures. We could create crochet blankets make quilts. And in fact, we can take those quilts and those crocheted afghans and we can take them to the homeless to help them out. But we need to be creating art, some kind of beauty in our lives that helps us turn our pain into something positive. And then we could join support groups, connect with other people who have similar experiences, and listen to their stories. And they listen to our stories, and we become connected because we have been through similar pain and struggles. If you can't find a support group, you might want to start one to bring all the people with similar pain together and help heal together. Maybe facilitate a group where not only do people share their feelings, but there's a therapist that comes in or a life coach that comes in and helps facilitate healing. And we can share our stories. We can inspire others by sharing our journey through blogs and podcasts and social media, by writing a book. We can make sure that people understand that we've been through pain and we have gotten through it and that we're using it for something positive. And that's going to inspire people to do the same. But if we don't get out there, if we don't step out of our comfort zone and share our stories and share our pain with others, other people are not going to be helped. They're not going to be healed. You have been put on this earth to share your story, to share your light with others, and to inspire others through your journey. And like I say in every episode, we need to practice gratitude. We need to focus on what we have to be thankful for, because that's going to shift our perspective. A lot of times we get stuck in what we don't have. We get stuck in what our problems are. We get stuck in where we've come from and the pain we've gone through and the trauma we've been through. And we see ourselves as damaged goods. But we need to focus on what we do have in our lives. What is the talents and gifts that you have? What is the story that you could share? How can you help other people? And what is it that you have to be grateful for? Do you have a roof over your head? Do you have running water? Do you have electricity? Do you have money to pay the rent? Do you have a job that you can go to? Do you have an idea for a business? What is it that you can be grateful for? And then we can develop new skills. We can learn something new to build our confidence and our resilience. We can take that pain and we could learn new skills to help other people. We could learn how to build houses for the homeless. We could learn to build a business so that we could hire people and give them jobs. We could learn how to sew clothes so that we can clothe the homeless. We could donate our services to organizations that help people get back on their feet. And we can learn management skills to help start nonprofit organizations that help people in need. We could travel, we could explore new places to gain fresh perspective and experiences. If you've grown up in the same country your entire life, when you go to other countries, you're in for a culture shock of how they live and what they do with their lives and what they do with their time. America is not the beginning and end of life. There are other countries who live differently than us, people who and cultures who do things differently from us. And when you travel the world, you see this. You see the pain that's going on in other places. You see the gratitude that's in other places. You see the joy in other places. But you wouldn't see that if you didn't get on a plane and travel, or on a boat and travel the world. And we can read inspirational books to gain insight and motivation from other people's stories. If you want to be a business woman, you might read the book Barbie and Ruth. You might want to read about how Amazon was started. You might want to understand the story behind Steve Jobs. And you can read these inspirational stories so that they could be an inspiration to you. You can do things with your life that is significant. And then we need to practice self-care. We need to prioritize activities that nurture our bodies and minds. We need to prioritize rest. We need to prioritize not worrying. We need to prioritize our family and friends. We need to prioritize our faith. We need to set goals that bring us towards a positive future. What is it that you've always wanted to do with your life? What do you dream of doing if money was no object? Go for those dreams. Do those dreams, because you're never going to know whether or not that was your calling or your destiny if you don't step out and find out. We need to build healthy relationships with people, connect with people. A lot of times, especially in this day and age, we don't connect with people because even when we're in the same room, we're on our phones and we're playing games and we're not listening to their stories and we're not connecting with them and not having a conversation. Because a lot of times we say we're friends, but we don't know what their likes, their dislikes are. We won't be there for them if they're in trouble. They won't be there for us when we're in trouble. But we need to develop healthy relationships, true friends, true partners in our lives. We need to find and connect with our tribe. We need to practice forgiveness. Not only forgiveness for other people, but more importantly and especially towards ourselves. Because most of the time when we are reflecting on the past and we're going over and over it in our heads, we're focusing on all the mistakes we made, what we said, what we didn't do, how we should have known this when we were only working with the experiences that we had and the tools that we had at the time. And we need to learn to forgive ourselves. And forgiveness is not a feeling. Forgiveness is a choice. You choose to forgive other people and you choose to forgive yourself. The feelings will catch up later, but you have to learn to forgive. Forgive yourself and forgive others. Forgive that person who cut you off in traffic. Forgive that coworker or that manager at work. We need to learn to forgive. And then we need to celebrate our small wins, acknowledge and celebrate our progress. We're going towards this big goal, and we've got that promotion to the C-suite. We got that book published. We wrote that novel. We wrote that song. But we don't stop to celebrate those small wins. We look at how far we have to go, and we don't look at how much we have accomplished. We need to look at how much we've accomplished and be proud of ourselves. Celebrate those wins. Celebrate those victories. And know that if we can accomplish that, we can accomplish anything. And then we need to figure out what we want to do with our lives. Do we want to help others? Do we want to share our stories? Do we want to facilitate change? Do we want to be a change maker, a difference maker? Do we want to do something significant with our lives? And we have to go after those dreams and goals. We have to make sure that we are a blessing to others, that we are using our pain to help other people, to even just be friends with them and listen to their stories. But we need to connect with other people who have been through similar pain as us. And we can take up writing a book and starting a blog to share our insights and experiences about what we've been through. Because it will help other people. It will gain us readers, and it will help share our story and make sure that other people are inspired by what it is that we have gone through. We can use humor and become a stand-up comedian, even if we don't think we're funny. Maybe we are funny and we just don't know it. That's the funny thing about life. Sometimes you think you're not funny. You think you're not talented. You think you're not athletic. Then you find out later that that was all in your mind. It was just a mindset. And once you got over it, you found out that that's not the truth. We can become people who give more than we take. We can see a need and we help people. We can do something to make somebody else's life better. When you come to the end of your life, what do you want to be known for? Do you want to be known for being selfish? Do you want to be known for having the C-suite and being locked up in your office all day and not speaking to other people? Do you want to be known as somebody who didn't connect with other people? Do you want to be known as somebody who went above and beyond to help other people? Do you want to be known as someone who took their pain and used it for good? Do you want to be known for how you made a difference in this world? We can't do that unless we're showing kindness to others, unless we're meeting somebody else's need, unless we're sharing our stories and inspiring others. We have to look around us and see where there is a need and where we can help, because we are never going to make a difference. We are never going to live a life of significance unless we're helping and giving to other people and making their lives better. Thank you for watching. We hope these practical tips have given you some valuable insight on how you can turn your past pain into something positive. Remember, healing and growth takes time. So be patient with yourself and celebrate every step forward. If you found this episode helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might benefit. We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below, so don't hesitate to join the conversation. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the notification button so you'll never miss an update. Until next time, stay strong and keep moving forward.